Hello, everyone. New person up front. Woo! Woo! Yeah, I'm Zach. My name's Zach Shepard.
Hi, Zach.
And I don't know you, but I do look forward to meeting all y'all this summer. But I live here in Norfolk now. I just met my wife and my 2 kids that were running around. But right now it's just me, sadly. Bedtime. It's about my bedtime too. But all right, so that was great, and I'm glad it's gone. No, not really. But so yeah, talking about nations, God's desires for all the nations, and we're going to bring that a little more local for this. We're going to go over a little bit of what is training versus teaching, and talk about the specific numbers. Not too many numbers, but a few numbers for the facts about Norfolk, where we are this summer. Or mostly. I know you live in Portsmouth, but whatever. We're in Norfolk. So yeah, there's some really cool statistics. We're not going to talk about all those on the training versus teaching page there, but they're really neat. You should look at them, memorize them if you want to. Something really interesting is what statistics show. Like a lot of studies have been done, and according to those studies, about 90%, at least 90% of people walking around are lost, considered lost. Like if they were to die, would not spend eternity with God. And that's kind of crazy. That's a lot of people. If you think about the world, almost, what is it, 8 billion people, 90% of those don't know Christ. So we want to share with them, right? We want to bring them to church. No, that was a joke. So the statistic is about 60%, at least 60% of people are considered like uninvitable to church. If you invited them, they would not attend the church with you. And that's kind of weird because that's probably the primary target of most churches, right? They try to go after the people who will be invited to church. And that's great. Those people need to be sought after and gone after, but there's 60% that will never be touched. And another number is 70% of those. So the 60% takes 70% of that number. Those people actually are willing to listen to you, have a conversation, talk about Jesus, and to study the Bible with you. That's kind of interesting. So if we bring that a little local, instead of not talking about the nations or 8 billion people, we're talking about Norfolk. So in Norfolk, there's about 250,000 people of the population. So kind of small, pretty small city. And if you want to imagine an ODU, so Old Dominion University, that population, just take 10%. It's 10%, and this is normal, not summer numbers, so I don't know the summer numbers, but 10% of Norfolk population is ODU population, but we're going to use Norfolk. So 250,000 people, 90% of that is 225,000 people are considered lost, statistically. 60% that will never attend a church, even if you invited them and you were really good friends with them, would be 150,000 people in Norfolk would not attend a church. However, 70% of the 150,000 is 105,000. So there's 1,000 people who are thankfully more than 105. But yeah, 105,000 people who are open to hearing and discussing Jesus with you and reading the Bible with you, and that's really cool. And those are the people who we're looking for. But there's still a lot of people, and how do we... it's like, who's responsible for those people? And it's clear. We just went through that. God has entrusted that to us, reaching those people to us. So how do we do it? And that's when we get into a little bit of the training versus teaching. What is the difference? So let's look at an example. Well, no. Let's not do the example first. I need a volunteer. Nobody's jumping on it.
You got me, Zach.
You kind of halfway raised your hand. He halfway raised his hand a little bit more. Oh, Jake. Who wants it?
Me. I want it.
There you go. All right. Stand up. Nice. Volunteer. Okay. Sure. Come on up. You didn't have to, but that's good. All right. So your job, you've probably seen this demonstration before. It's pretty cool. It's demonstrating training versus teaching. Your job is to, in 5 seconds, run around and touch as many people as possible. Gently, right? Don't smack them in the head or anything like that.
So it's just start in a more populated area.
No. You're starting right here.
Okay.
Yep. Let me get a timer. I'll yell at you when you're supposed to stop.
Okay.
But so if you get touched, just stand there. Remember that he touched you, but don't get up. Don't do anything. Just remember. You ready? Go. Stop. All right. Not that long. Okay. Raise your hand if Justin reached you. Okay, that's pretty good. We all know where this is going, right? So I need another volunteer. A fast one. You got it?
I'll do my
All right,
best.
think about your strategy. So what we're doing this time... No, you start in the middle. What?
You start in the middle.
Okay, start right there. You're good. So what we're going to do this time... What's your name?
Ethan.
Ethan is going to do the exact same thing. Except his strategy is to... Never mind, do the exact same thing. This time he's training, right? He's not just teaching, he's training. And anyone you touch is also able to train another person. So now when you touch someone, that person can get up and then go train someone else and touch. So now we're going to see how many of the room can be touched in 5 seconds. Yes, if you're able to. All right, are you ready? Ready, set, go! All right, raise your hand if you were touched or influenced or reached. Okay, wow. Good job. High five. I mean, clap for that one, not for the other one. No, that's exactly what it's supposed to demonstrate. So teaching versus training. Teaching, you can only get so far. You can only teach so many people yourself. But if you're training them as you go, you can reach a lot more people and have a lot more impact. So that's the goal. But you say, oh, that's just a little quick, cute demonstration, and that can't happen in real life. And that's just not true. So turn to Acts 19. We're going to read verse 8 through 10 in Acts 19. So this is then when Paul, I'm reading the NLT here. So then Paul went to the synagogue and preached boldly for the next 3 months, arguing persuasively about the kingdom of God. But some became stubborn, rejecting his message and publicly speaking against the way. So Paul left the synagogue and took the believers with him. Then he held daily discussions at the lecture hall of Tyrannus, however you say that. This went on for the next 2 years, so that people throughout the province of Asia, both Jews and Greeks, heard the word of the Lord. There you go. So based on a quick Google search, I didn't do the research myself, but quick Google search says that in that time period, about 8 to 15 million people lived in that province of Asia. Is that right? 8 to 15 million? Okay, cool. So about 8 to 15 million people heard in that short 2-year time period. And how did he do it? Right? Did he just teach everyone? Did everyone, all 8 to 15 million people, funnel through the hall when Paul was there teaching? No, not a chance. So clearly he was training as he was going, and they went back out to where they lived and where they were traveling and shared that way. And all people were able to hear in the province of Asia, which is super cool. And so now, it's questions. What's it going to take? We know it's going to take to train. Make sure you're training, not just teaching as you're going. And but what are we going to do together? Right? It's not an individual effort. It takes all of us. Like, what are we going to do together? And we get to learn a lot about that this week. So yeah. But remember, 105,000 people in Norfolk that do not know the Lord and are willing to hear and listen and talk to you. So real quick, group of 2, go ahead and pray for those 105,000. And if you want to do ODU, about 10,000. All right, go.